Someone told me something today, and it reminded me just how fragile we are as human beings, especially how fragile our hearts are. This story happened 20 years ago. This man fell in love with a girl. In fact, the both of them fell in love with each other, and they were just really in love. So this guy put her through university. Hold on, I know that this sounds cliche, and you may be thinking, I've heard this type of story before, but there is a twist to this story. So this guy took her through university, made sure that she was comfortable. I mean, they were really in love. And the person who was telling me this story said that this guy never goes a day without, like, he can't be around him, and for 1 minute or 5 minutes, he has not spoken about this girl. This is basically to show you how in love that they both were. He got her a car, made sure that she was comfortable all through school and everything. After all of that, one or two happened and they broke up. The girl refused to marry him. That sounds familiar, right? But that's not the twist of the story. The reason I'm telling you this story is not because, man took woman through school and woman refuses to marry man. That's cliche. We've heard that over and over, and this happens both ways. My interest in this story is what happened to the man afterwards. So this man refused to marry any other person. He never fell out of love with that girl. Do you know what? It's been 20 years and he hasn't fallen out of love with the girl. 20 years, guys. The man is now 50 years old. And the person telling me this story says that the man is now living a very reckless life. Yes, no excuse to live a reckless life and everything, but this just shows how fragile the human mind is. Guys, trauma is a thing. Trauma can reorient your mind. Like, trauma can reorient your mind. You know what reorientation means? Like, I know that we've heard this thing about grooming, like somebody grooming somebody, like, for example, a man, an older man grooming a young girl. That grooming thing, that grooming concept, we've heard it. Trauma can actually groom your mindset. Trauma can groom you into becoming a different person. And this is very important because a lot of us have been groomed by trauma in Nigeria. A lot of us have been groomed by trauma in our lives, in our personal relationships. There are certain beliefs and mindset and orientation that you have right now that are not normal. You were just groomed by the trauma that you faced. It could be grief. It could have been a heartbreak, a very, very, very terrible heartbreak. It could be anything. It could be misfortune in life. What I want us to learn from this story is that trauma can groom people. Trauma can reorient the way you think, the way you reason, the way you approach people, the way you live your life. Right now, the young man has been groomed by trauma and he's like, you know what? I don't even care. He just goes about sleeping with all these girls, getting into relationships with them and disappointing them because he believes this is the only way that he can feel better about himself. The girl is married now. This is 20 years later, and this man could not still summon the courage to get married. This is why therapy and counseling is important.